I'm standing outside this building where hundreds of corporate people work really, really hard. This is the place where people like you and me spend 8 hours a day to help other rich people get even more rich so they can buy fancy cars, private jets, and tickets to a Diljit Dosanjh concert while you sit at home watching YouTube videos about what exactly is the purpose of your life and career. But there's one other problem with corporate jobs: toxic work culture. Now let's get a little bit serious. Toxic work culture is a big problem. Let me give you a recent example. A 26-year-old employee, Anna, died. One of the reasons for her death could have been the toxic work culture that existed in her organization. Her mother said in a letter, Anna was made to work at odd hours and given very tight deadlines. Now for anyone doing a corporate job, this sounds scary. And you know what the worst part is in all of this? Anna is not the only one. There are other people as well. So today in this video, we try to find out how big is the problem of toxic workplaces in India. Experts have different opinions on this matter. Let's hear what they have to say. So is toxic workplace a big problem for individuals working in corporate?
From my practice, I would say it's absolutely true. With the clients that I work with, majority of the content that we talk about is regarding the workplace, and majority of the experience that I hear is of a toxic work culture.
It's very hard to say workplaces have become toxic in general.
People use toxicity also in a very loose manner, because toxicity is a very dangerous and a very serious term. So I would not say yes, toxicity exists in all organizations across levels.
According to a survey, as many as 86% of Indian employees are struggling at work. If that is not enough, let me tell you that the turnover rate in Indian companies has increased from 24% in FY22 to 31% in FY24. Turnover rate is the rate at which employees leave an organization within a particular period of time. Now all this data point towards the fact that employees are not happy at work. And this could be because of the toxic work culture that exists in Indian companies. One of the main causes of toxic work culture in organizations is overwork. And this idea of working super hard at everything all the time is ingrained into our brains since the time we are born. Managers just keep on giving work, and it's hard for young people to say no to it.
Primarily, our belief system itself plays a role. I can imagine anybody who's born and brought up in an Indian household would have heard that hard work leads to success, right? Ever since school, we have all heard this, right? You need to work more, study more. If you have time, don't waste it, do more. Do work now so that you can rest later. There are many phrases like these. They're all ingrained in us. And these people, of course, become both employers and employees. That's one space from where the expectation to ask the other person to give more comes from, and also where the other person feels like, oh, I should do more if I want a better promotion, position, money.
In short, we're taught to work hard. It's completely wired into our brains, and this can often lead to a burnout. But there are other reasons as well which can make the work environment toxic.
What has happened in the last few years is that the business has become extremely dynamic, extremely uncertain. The volatility has increased a lot. That's why the business leaders are not able to really plan the number of people, the number of roles, the kind of people that they require on a little longer term. Secondly, what has happened is the pressure for a business leader has been like never before. There is quarter by quarter results to be delivered, and one is getting evaluated quarter by quarter. The comparisons are ruthless, and they try to minimize some of the investments or costs.
Well, that doesn't paint a very rosy picture for corporate employers, but always there are two sides to every coin. It can also be argued that expectations of young employees are far away from reality. Getting a job at this swanky building doesn't mean that you're on a vacation on a beach in Goa. A job is a job after all.
Organizations are thinking short term. They're not thinking long term. While an employee also is thinking short term, how much more I can earn in this period of time, because they want to learn fast and maximize their rewards and recognition. So if they do all of that, it has also the challenge of hampering one's own body, and for the longer term, one doesn't have that ability.
If you talk about the services sector, let's say retail or BFSI or hospitality, I think the attrition at an entry level is extremely high purely because of the expectation mismatch. I mean, in retail, you're expected to stand for 14 hours a day. But that's the nature of the job. I don't think the employer is asking anything unfair. That's the industry. On the IT industry, the attrition levels are high purely for very different reasons, saying, I don't want to work on these tech stacks. I want to work on some other tech stacks. Or, hey, you know what? The employer is asking me to commute for 5 days a week, but I only want to commute for 3 days a week. So attrition levels are high for different reasons in different industries.
You have to realize that today's young corporate workforce grew up listening to rock, rap and EDM, and none of them teach anything remotely close to discipline and following work orders.
Probably Gen Z is complaining a lot, and for the right reasons, that people should have complained years ago. That's probably because we have begun questioning things that earlier was taught to us never to question. So that's also one of the reasons why I think it looks like Gen Z is just complaining too much, but I feel like they are asking the right questions that should have been asked a decade ago at least. I also want to point out that I'm not saying there can never be unrealistic expectations from them. There could be.
The young worker of today seeks fair pay, comfortable working hours, work from home, a flexible leave policy, $1 million bonus, and a business trip to Paris. Now, while some of that might be unreasonable, there are things that new age corporations can do.
And I think organizations are realizing that treating human beings as a productive unit is very, very commercial and very short-term. It is important to understand the match between an organization's philosophy, organization's context, and the person's likes and dislikes. The personality profile and the job profile has to match.
I would urge all the people up the hierarchy to also be part of mental health conversations, both theirs and their employees, and not treat it as just another thing a corporate company is supposed to do. The other thing I would urge individuals to do is to form peer support groups. People whom you can share your experiences, hear how they have tackled it, and also feel a sense of belonging that you're not the only person who feels like saying no to something. I would urge every individual to start rechecking and unlearning their belief system about what success is. If really only hard work equals success, is it really worth to call something successful if it necessitates you to lose yourself in the process?
Now, for a deeper analysis of this issue, you can read the cover story in our magazine, which is available on our website at www.outlookbusiness.com. If you found this video informative, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.